Hi, everyone. It's Alissa from Colin, and you some things that are applicable for some of your older kids, maybe teens, actually even adults. We're going to bring to you yell, reach or throw, don't go, and talking about how to do some things if you're around water and you see someone struggling, how to make a rescue without putting yourself in danger. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about how to get out of a rip current. So rip current safety, which is actually something that's great for anyone who goes to open water, to a beach, or even a lake. Sometimes we can get currents in lakes. It's really a great tool to know how to get out of a rip current. So that lesson today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to first, I want to do a little bit of talking just about open water and open water safety. Many of us spend our first experience or lots of our experiences with water in what we call closed water. So a bathtub or a swimming pool or some type of water that's very controlled, usually clear. We know how deep it is, really predictable. And when we go to open water, it can be very unpredictable. You can have waves. You can not know what the depth is. The water can be dark and you won't be able to see the bottom. There might be things in the water that could be hazards, whether that be everything from glass. I know I was at the lake the other day and I picked up some glass that was, there could be that, there could be other debris, lots of things that you have to behave differently around open water and open bodies of water than you might around a pool. So we want to talk about that, open water versus closed water. Today, we're talking about open water. So the first thing we want to talk about is what happens if you are at, let's say, the lake, and you see someone struggling in the water. And this can be applicable to the pool also, or it can be applicable to the ocean. But what do you do if you see someone who is struggling in the water? And most people, it's their natural desire is to go help and to go in after someone or to go rescue someone. We all want to help, most of us do. And so when you see someone in trouble, you want to help, but that's not always the safest thing because you can put yourself in danger if you try to help someone and it's not a safe situation or you're not trained to appropriately rescue someone. So we have a concept that we use in water safety called yell. So yell for help. So if you see someone struggling, you yell for help. You always want to get someone other than just you that knows that something's going on. So you yell for help. So practice your best yell. I'm not going to yell because that might be very loud for this situation, but you're going to yell for help to let someone else know that something's going on. And then you want to reach or throw the person something that floats. So I'm going to get up here and see, I've got collected some things around my house that might be, I might be able to reach or throw something to someone. I'm going to move this out of the way because I'm going to show you a thing. But let's see, I found these from our friends at H2O. So this floats. So if I was at a pool or even if I was maybe at the lake and there was this here, I could reach or throw it if I'm going to reach it. This is something that if you're reaching on the side of a pool, you never want to reach something standing up, because if I reach this and let's pretend that you're pulling on this, I'm reaching it to you, you pull it, and I may fall in because I'm up. So if you're reaching something on the side of a pool, you're going to lay on the side of the pool, get yourself really low, reach this to them so that you won't fall in also, because then again, if you fell in, you would be putting yourself at risk. So I found that. Let's see. I also found this pool noodle, which is another version, same kind of thing. You could throw this to someone. You can also reach it. Again, I'm going to model this. You want to reach, if you're reaching from the side of a pool, you're going to reach laying down so that you don't get pulled in. So those are two things. What other things float? I found this. I'm a swimmer, so I found this little pull buoy, so I could throw that to someone if they needed it. I found this kickboard in my swim stuff. So if I was at the pool or even if I was at the lake or something, I could throw a kickboard to someone and they could grab onto that and it floats. Again, you want to make sure that it floats. We'll talk about this in a second. I have here a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket. So this floats because that's the purpose of it. So if someone was struggling in the water, and I saw them and I had a life jacket, that could be something that I could do. So I could throw them the life jacket. If I'm in a pool, I might have one of these, which is a ring buoy or a life preserver, and I'm going to teach you how to actually rope on it. Got all my stuff all tangled up here. Hang on. So if I have this, I could throw this to someone. If there's not a rope on it, I could very easily throw this into the water, trying to get it to the person. Something to keep in mind, if you're throwing something to someone, you don't want to hit them, because if they're struggling and you hit them, you may knock them out, or you may make the situation worse. So again, you want to throw it to them and as close to them as possible without hitting them. And it can be challenging. So this is something that we love for people to practice, is if you have to throw something. There's also, I don't have one, but there's a rope bag that you can buy if you have a boat or spend a lot of time around the lake. You can buy, it's a bag that has a throw rope in it, and you can throw it and it floats, and that's a great thing. This ring buoy, so if you pulled this off of the wall at a pool or something, it might not have the rope on it. So if that were the case and you were at a pool, you would just want to throw this to them. I'll try to do without, throw that to them right there. And again, don't hit them, because these are kind of heavy. But if you are somewhere and you have one that has a rope on it, like this one, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So you hold the ring buoy with your hand right here. I have the rope in my hand. This is the rope. If they're close, I'm going to step on the rope so that I want to pull them in. If there's a rope on here, here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to look at my person who's struggling, and let's pretend that this cone is my person who's struggling. And I'm actually going to put the kickboard up there. Actually, we'll just do this. All right, so this is my person. I'm trying to help them. I'm going to step on the rope of this so that I still have it. Going to get my rope, then I'll look at my person there. I'm going to try to throw it to them. Now remember, I don't want to hit them. So I'm going to throw it to them close enough. They can grab onto it. When they grab onto it, I want to get my legs really stable. Again, get low, and I'm going to pull them in. So imagine that my person, my cone, is on here. Let's see if I can put it on here. Pretend that they're holding onto it. I didn't hit them with it. But again, I'm stepping on the rope. I'm getting low, and I'm pulling them in, so I'm pulling my orange cone person in to make that you can use to do the same kind of thing. You can make one of these. I just made this one out of something out of the recycle bin. And again, it floats. It's a water bottle. I put a rope on it. Again, and I could keep this with me when I go to be out by the pool. I could keep it with me when I go to the lake. But again, I'm stepping on the rope. I'm holding on here. I'm going to look at my cone, which is my person who's struggling. I'm going to throw them the thing, and then I'm going to pull them in. I have to get low. So again, you want to make sure that you don't hit your person, because then you could get into trouble there. So those are things. Another thing I found around the house is a cooler. Coolers float. So you can potentially, if you have a cooler that has a top that is on there, that might be something that you could throw that floats to someone. So I challenge you to go look around your house and see what you float that you could use to help a swimmer in trouble, whether it's around your backyard pool or if it's something that you might usually take to the lake, or even go get one of those rope bags and use that, put that in your bag that you take to the lake. So those are the ways that you can yell. Again, let's go over that. Yell for help, reach or throw something that floats to the person in trouble, making sure that you don't hit them and that you get it close enough. And if you're in water that's moving, sometimes that's a tricky thing, because if the water is moving this way, you need to throw the thing up a little bit so it moves with the water, and it's something to practice. But you reach or throw them something that floats. And again, if you're reaching it, you want to get low. And don't go in after someone unless you're a trained rescuer. A lot of times we see people go in and they want to help, but they go in and then both of them get into trouble. Either the person who went to rescue wasn't a strong swimmer, or there was waves or current or something that made it difficult for them, or when you have a person who's struggling, who's actually drowning, they're trying to save themselves. So they don't maybe know that you're trying to help them or that you're making a rescue. So let's go over it again. Yell for help, reach or throw something that floats, all these things. Go look around your house and see what floats, and then don't go. Unless you're a trained rescuer, don't go. So that's our yell, reach or throw, don't go. And that's what you would do if you were see someone who's struggling and want to help them. The next thing we want to talk about is a rip current. And many of you may go to the beach, and in some big lakes, like Lake Michigan, our friends at the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project, that's where they can often turn into an ocean like situation where there's currents. And we want to teach you how to get out of a rip current. And we have some great resources on our website at colinshope.org in the open water safety section that that have some videos and things where you can link and watch a video about how to spot a rip current and what that looks like. And so if you go to the beach, one of the things I do when I go to the beach, I know what a rip current looks like, and they often form near jetties. So that's like, or a rock outcropping, or if there's a pier, there can be rip currents that form around those. So one good thing is go to a lifeguarded beach, because the lifeguards will be able to know where the rip currents are if they're happening. They will use flags often at beaches, a flag warning system to tell you if there are rip currents. So typically the flag system, and they differ a little bit in places around the world, but usually it's a green flag is okay, which means the water is safe to get in and it's calm. Yellow means it's a little bit, there might be some sort of like caution, use caution, just like a stoplight, use caution. There are red flags, which mean it's hazardous and don't get in. There's double red flags, which means that it's extra hazardous. I wouldn't get in, even though I'm a strong swimmer, I wouldn't get in if it was any of those. And then there's often a purple flag, which is hazardous marine life. So that may be jellyfish, that could be a shark or something, but usually it's probably jellyfish. But anyway, when you go to a beach, you got to look out for different things. And rip currents is one of them. But if you go to lifeguarded beaches, which is what we say to people, if you're going to the beach, if you can go to a lifeguarded beach, that's the best. Obviously, never go and never swim alone. Don't swim above your ability. And also, again, when you're going to open water, even the best swimmers can get into trouble in any kind of water. And certainly when it's open water, if you're dealing with waves or rip currents, that could be even more dangerous. And you can always also, where is it? Use when you're in open water. It's always a great layer of protection. So we're going to talk about rip currents. So we put in the link there so you can see on our resource tips in open water, get some more information about rip currents and our friends at the U.S. Surf Life Saving Association. I have this really great wristband on from them, and it's got never swim alone, don't fight the current, which is what we're going to talk about, swim near a lifeguard, learn to swim. Some really great tips from USLA, and their resources are on our website. But let's talk about rip currents. So you go and you find out what a rip current looks like. We want to tell you that even if you found out that didn't think that there was a rip current, didn't spot one, sometimes they're hard to spot, and you get in the water and you feel like you're being pulled out and you can't get out, you can't get back in, you're just struggling. You are probably stuck in some kind of a rip current. So we're going to teach you how to get out of it. So the very first thing is don't panic and try to remain calm. If you fight the current, as I said on my wristband, it says don't fight the current. If you panic and try to fight the current, you're going to get tired. It's going to wear you out, and your chances of getting out of it are less likely than if you try to not panic and if you try to stay calm. So that's the first thing, stay calm. And then our friends at the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project have a little saying that is called flip, float, and follow. So we're going to use that, and we thank them for coming up with that. So you flip onto your back, okay? And then you float to keep yourself calm, and then you follow the current out. So if you can, Jessica, if you can hold up our open water station, there's a little, this little picture right here of the person, and you see the arrows going that way and that way. The rip current is this arrow that's going forward, that's pulling the person out, okay? So that's the rip current. So when we say we want to get out of the current, we want to get out to the side. So flip, float, and follow. So if you think about it as you're swimming and you're getting pulled away from the shore, you want to remain calm, yell for help if you can, flip over on your back and float, and then follow the current out. So you want to get parallel to the shore. So if this is the beach going this way, you want to get yourself going the same direction of the beach because the current is pulling this way. And if you get to the side, it will spit you out of the current if you relax and don't panic. And again, it's that don't fight the current, because if you fight the current, you will get fatigued and you'll get tired, and it'll be less likely that you'll be able to get out. So again, we'll say we yell for help, okay? We remain calm and don't panic, and then flip, float, and follow. Flip over, float on your back, and follow the current out. And again, there's some really great videos, and you can, I know I've watched all these different videos about, and there's really great resources. So I challenge you to go there. And again, thanks to our friends at the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project for coming up with that little saying, because it's just like if you learn fire safety, stop, drop, and roll. This is flip, float, and follow. And so those are a couple things about open water safety. One of the other things I just want to talk about, because I can, and this is directed at older teens and even adults, is cliffs and rocks and jumping off of things if you're at a lake or something like that, because I know that's often a reality and it sounds fun jumping off into something. But the thing is with lakes and rivers, you don't know what's below the lake, below the water surface. And there could be rocks that are closer than they appear. There could be things that you don't see. So when you jump off of that cliff or that rock, you could hit them. And certainly you don't want to dive. Never, ever go headfirst off of any kind of, unless you're at a diving well where you know exactly how deep it is and you're at a pool or something where it's a diving board is there and that's the purpose and depth is there. Don't ever go head first, because you can come up with a neck and back injury, a head injury, anything like that. But we just don't jump off into water when you don't know. I know where we are here in Texas, the lakes are not always the same level. And so a rock might be one place one day, and the next day you come back and that rock is closer to the surface and you could hit it. So I know it sounds fun, and I know, I was a diver growing up, and so I love to dive, but it's just not a safe choice to make. We don't want anyone to drown, and we don't want anyone to have a head injury or anything like that because they jumped or dove off of something. And that is something that I know we see with our older kids and adults and things like that, is wanting to do that. So those are just some of the tips that we have around. Uh-oh, my guy fell over in the background. Those are some of our things that we have around. Again, we'll review yell, reach your throw, don't go. So if you see someone struggling in the water who looks like they might be needing help and you want to help them, because we want to help, you yell for help, let someone know that there's someone struggling, reach or throw them something that floats. Again, we got lots of choices of things that float, that might float. Go search up around your house, things that you might have that might float. So yell, reach or throw them something that floats, and then don't go. Don't go in after someone to help them, because you could get yourself into danger. And we don't want that to happen. And then the other one was talking about rip currents, which is, again, if you feel yourself being pulled out at the beach, then you want to not panic, stay calm, yell for help if you can, and then flip over, float on your back, again, calmly, and don't panic, and follow the current out. So get yourself parallel to the shore, which this is the shore. You want to get your body going the same direction, and the current will spit you out there. So those are just a few tips from Colin's Hope around some open water safety and things that you can do to keep yourself safer around water. We challenge you to have safer behaviors. No one is drown proof. It doesn't matter your age, your race, your gender, your socioeconomic ability, your socioeconomic status, or your swimming ability. None of us are drown proof. So if we can all model good water safety behavior and practice good water safety, then we can prevent these drownings. So with that, I say to you, have the best day ever. And again, follow those links in the comment section to some great resources at colinshope.org. Thanks, everybody.